Caribbean spared the worst of Tropical Storm Brett, and in sport, Darren Sammy blames Cricket West Indies for the continued decline of the Caribbean side. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, June 20th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
If you like dancing and whining and fretting till the morning, if you like drinking, masquerading, live music always playing, if you like islands of blue seas where people always smiling, if you like street jams and bandstands where people will be jamming, don't you miss this time, no. This our festival, our legacy. Don't you miss this time, no.
Throughout the day, I'll be bringing you some fun facts about the island. Let's start with the Tybee Island Light Station. It's one of the oldest in existence today and is one of the well-known landmarks on the island. Let's take a look at our first game in our men's finals. We have Kibby and Peter versus Dave and Rodrigo. Dave back serving.
Trinidad and Tobago is today mopping up after being spared the brunt of Tropical Storm Brett, which made its way through the Twin Island Republic overnight into this morning. Preliminary reports indicate there was minor damage in Grenada and neighboring islands as well. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management, the ODPM, said there were no reports of injuries, but several properties, mainly in the eastern and northern section of Trinidad, as well as in Tobago, had been affected by the storm's passage. ODPM head Captain Neville Wint also confirmed that at least 27 patients at the St. Anne's Hospital on the outskirts of the capital had to be evacuated to another part of the hospital after the roof of the building blew off. In other instances, the ODPM reported that trees and roofs were blown away by the storm and several areas were flooded. In Tobago, a family was rescued by disaster preparedness officials after a tree fell on their home. Schools, banks, as well as some commercial businesses remain closed today, prolonged the long weekend that had included a public holiday yesterday when Trinidad and Tobago observed Labor Day. The Met Office is warning that floods and landslides are possible today following the heavy rains that accompanied Brett. In its 11 a.m. bulletin, the Miami-based National Hurricane Center said the storm was 305 miles east of Curacao. It was carrying maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour and expected to weaken as it moves across the southeastern Caribbean Sea over the next couple of days before dissipating on Thursday. Over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is seeking to collect almost $250,000 in damage after successfully suing a pro-opposition radio station for defamation. This is the second lawsuit that the station has lost to Gonsalves. The station's management has started a radiothon to prevent the station from being liquidated in order to meet the judgment. Gonsalves had filed the defamation suit after comments were made by talk show host Matthew Thomas on the program Stay Awake on Nice Radio in January 27. That's 2007. The show was also hosted by Junior Bacchus. Now, Thomas had made certain statements about Gonsalves having untoward intentions towards Bacchus. Thomas had also accused Gonsalves of using the office of the Prime Minister to facilitate illegal activities. The Court of Appeal upheld the decision of the lower court, which ruled in Gonsalves' favor, and the parties are due back in court on June 26. Guyana's opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo yesterday fired back at Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman, who described him as the Doctor of Doom during a sit-in of the National Assembly last week. Royster Drakes of Capital News has the details.
After trading words with the Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman, in the National Assembly, opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo made sure he had the last say, at least for now, outside of the National Assembly. At his press conference, the opposition leader said he was not the purveyor of doom.
I am not the purveyor of doom. If anybody is a purveyor of doom, is this government. It's the doom peddling government or the doom government. Well, doom in both sense. It brings that as an outcome to people, and that's an outcome for them in the future too. Because you tell that to the 10,000 sugar workers who are going to lose their jobs, or the 500 people at Barama, or the many sale clerks, etc., who have lost their jobs in the last few years. That's where the doom. They've brought doom to the lives of those people.
Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman had enough of the opposition leader's criticism of the government, and he described Jagdeo as a failure. He said Dr. Jagdeo is the doctor of doom and should be the last to lecture anyone about good governance.
Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
Your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Two-time T20 World Cup winning captain Darren Sammy has blasted Cricket West Indies for the continued decline of the Caribbean side and has painted a bleak future for the team once the Dave Cameron-led administration remains in charge. In a sharp critique of the state of West Indies cricket, the all-rounder told the Tuffers and Vaughan show that he could not envision an immediate turnaround for West Indies, especially since none of the leading players were ever likely to represent the region again because of the CWI's policies. Sammy said, quote, "I am very scared for the future of West Indies cricket, for a team that has dominated cricket for 17 years during the period in the 80s and early 90s to be in that position right now. I am scared that we might be relegated to the league of the Irelands and Scotlands playing against these guys, which is very, very sad if something doesn't change. And at the moment, the guys has just been re-elected for another term. I can't see it happening. It's very sad for us," end quote. Sammy contends CWI needs to adjust its policies to ensure the best players are available for selection, but he said it seemed not to understand what was in the best interests of West Indies cricket. Still in cricket, Windies women will be vying for a winner's prize of the $660,000 US when they open the ICC campaign. That's in the Women's World Cup on Saturday, and we'll get more of that in our major newscast at 6:30. This is Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.